Welcome to Allison Analysis, the show that reviews wrestling shows using only emojis. Let's jump straight into it and have some fun. Last night's episode of Monday Night Raw opened up with the Judgment Day, or as I like to call it, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Honestly, I can't work out. I lose track on a week by week basis about whether or not the Judgment Day are turning on each other. I thought at the pay per view on Sunday at Backlash, I thought they turned on each other basically. I thought that was the turn. It was then going to go more that way. No, apparently they're all friends again. And it feels like we've seen this storyline about 1,000,000,000 times now. Every month they seem to split up and then be best friends again. There's no consistency to it. I mean, to be fair, to give them some credit, when they do eventually split up, I guess we won't see it coming. But, I mean, listen, whoever does keep it up with the Kardashians, I think you need to give the Judgment Day a call because, hey, I think mothers all around the world would love to keep up with this drama. It's absolutely chaotic, but Finn Balor was quite funny. But then we found out Drew McIntyre was injured and he's out of the King of the Ring tournament. Finn Balor was celebrating the fact that he gets a first round bye. But hang on a second, that fun stopper, Adam Pearce, came out and said, "Hey Finn, you're not getting a first round bye. Instead, you're taking on this guy who's about to come out right now." And guess who it was? It was main event Jey Uso! I genuinely cannot remember anything from that live event other than those yeets I was doing. I clearly did too many yeets and it clearly just, I don't remember the night. But then we got into Jey Uso versus Finn Balor, which was, a good match. It was a fun match. It was what you'd expect from them, really. Those two was fast-paced, great opener to the show, got the crowd going, and Jey Uso advances, and Drew McIntyre came out from the crowd, and he was not very happy. Also, it was revealed that they're only doing 3 King of the Ring matches and 3 Queen of the Ring matches on Raw, and the other ones, which were previously announced for Raw, well, instead they're going to be happening on live events. And I don't really like this. I don't really care about this unless they are shown on YouTube or shown on social media, in which case I'll take this criticism back. Fair enough. It does something for the live events and fans at home do get to see them. But if this is just for the live event audience, I do not like this whatsoever. I mean, King of the Ring, it's meant to be on TV, and it's best when it's on TV, because I want to see Kofi versus Rey Mysterio. I want to see it. It's as simple as that. Drew McIntyre was then furious backstage, and he was like, "I cannot believe I was replaced in this," and Adam Pearce was like, "Well, it's your fault. You're injured. You're the one who brought it up." McIntyre was fuming. He got in his car and he drove away. As CM Punk's car came in, CM Punk was like, "Oh, I'm sorry I was late, I was trapped in a building." Like, how long? It's not very far away, is it really? He was blatantly late because he was avoiding Drew McIntyre. It was really funny. A subtle round of applause from me for this segment. They then did basically CM Punk walking from backstage out to the ring, and I love these new little bits of production where, the camera, it flows a bit more naturally. We go from backstage to the ring. It was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. CM Punk then got in the ring, and I'm about to give another subtle round of applause because CM Punk delivered one of the best promos he's cut since returning to WWE. Fantastic promo on Drew McIntyre. And also there was a little subtle all-in dig there about, the guillotine choke on Jack Perry. It was very subtle. If you didn't understand it, it would just go over your head. It's not clearly referencing it. So it was just a little nugget in there for, the fans who know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, it's not going to harm it in any way. It's not going to bring more attention to it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought it was quite a fun way to just, advance this storyline a little bit more. So well done from both Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And I'm excited to see where this story goes. Io Sky then defeated Natalya to qualify for the next round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Natalya, underrated and overhated. These two put on a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But then, things got a little more interesting, didn't they? As we had Dragunov versus Ricochet. And boy, oh boy, did these guys deliver. And they can take my money because this was phenomenal. I mean, genuinely one of Ricochet's best matches, I reckon, since he's joined the main roster. Dragunov is going to be a treat to have on Monday night. These two, well, this is what King of the Ring is about. This was just phenomenal action. The crowd were loving it. I was loving it. Fast-paced, hard-hitting. I mean, it's going to be hard for anything else to top this on the show. And to be honest, I don't think anything else did top it. But it was just brilliant. And this is what I want to see more of in the King of the Ring tournament. Zoe Stark then defeated Ivy Nile in a decent match. It was fine, a bit slower pace compared to the last one. To be honest, I think they should have put a promo in this slot because, I mean, nothing could have touched Dragunov and Ricochet, but it was fine. But afterwards, we headed backstage, and R-Truth seemed to challenge what I believe, I don't know, it's American sports, I believe a basketball team to a tag team title match. The Miz was a bit confused. The coach was a bit confused. Adam Pearce was a bit confused. And I don't really know, what came from this because, nothing can come from it because they're a basketball team. He thought they were an independent wrestling promotion. Even if they were a promotion, what, are you going to defend your tag titles against the entire promotion? I don't know what forbidden door R-Truth's trying to open here, but it was funny. I liked it. It was good. Then we head into the next episode of Keeping Up with the Judgment Day as Dominic Mysterio tried to bring a friend in Carlito over to play, but Father Priest was having none of it. But hey, it was a decent segment. It was fine. I do like how Priest's not just, following the entire heels should get along with heels thing. At least he's remembering, Carlito did screw him last year at Backlash. So a bit of consistency. I'm not mad at that one bit. But at this point, they blatantly needed an in-ring promo or just something to break everything up because they did Reed versus Gable. That should feel like a big deal, but the crowd was, they were a bit knackered, weren't they? It was still decent. Sami Zayn interrupted quite quickly. Looks like they're heading towards a triple threat match for that Intercontinental Championship, and for I think a second week in a row, Bronson Reed stood tall with the IC title. He is being booked like a boss since winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royale at WrestleMania. Well, SmackDown before WrestleMania, SmackDown, whatever they want to call it this week. But I am glad to see this Bronson Reed push. This was fine. Nothing special. But hey, it did its job. And then we got on to the Becky Lynch segment. Now, this segment was not bad. But doing an interview segment between Becky Lynch and Michael Cole, in the ring, it just didn't really work. The crowd didn't really know how to interact. There was not many moments for them to really get involved. And I understand why, because there would have been a risk of what chance, which there were some of anyway. But this should have been a pre-recorded segment. It really, really should have been. I didn't really care for it. Neither Michael Cole or Becky Lynch did anything wrong. But hey, it was saved. This entire segment was saved. It was stopped from being bad to just I don't care because Liv Morgan came down. And at that point, Liv Morgan and Becky, they threw a few lines towards each other. It was good. It was entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was about to say, hey, this was probably going to be a good segment overall. But Dakota Kai then came down. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Dakota Kai fan. But she dropped maybe the stupidest line of the night. When she said, Liv Morgan, you've got a championship shot and nobody knows why. Liv literally explained why 30 seconds prior. This entire segment, there was good parts, there was bad parts. It evens out as I don't really care about it. But this was the low point of the night, I think. Actually, no, that was not the low point of the night because the low point of the night happened about 2 minutes later when Lyra Valkyria took on Dakota Kai. And not the match itself. The match itself was fine. But about 30 seconds into the match, right? They were grappling. It was, the middle of the match. It wasn't like an ad break part or whatever. They showed a Planet of the Apes clip. What? You can't just do this at the start of the match. It takes all the viewers out of the match, and it did. And to be fair to, Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai, that's the thing. I'm almost forgetting it. That's how forgettable it was because of the ad break. I'm blaming the Planet of the Apes for this. But hey, the match itself was decent. It was fine, right? But it's just come on, guys. A Planet of the Apes teaser or trailer, whatever it is, exclusive clip. I could play that in the ad break or something like that. Maybe take an earlier ad break to play it. I don't know. Maybe even have this in between a promo segment or something stupid like that. Because even that's better. I understand sponsorships. I understand making money. But doing it during this match, I feel bad for Lyra. I feel bad for Dakota. Because, the focus wasn't on them, was it? Very disappointing. But hey, it ended up being a decent match. But they couldn't really get anybody involved because everyone was too busy, confused about why on earth a Planet of the Apes teaser happened about 20 seconds into the match. It was weird. We then went backstage and had a great promo from Kofi Kingston explaining that Xavier Woods was originally meant to be in this tournament to try and win back-to-back King of the Ring tournaments, but unfortunately, due to the injury that he suffered at the hands of Gunther, he is out of the tournament. I'm guessing Kofi is going to defeat Rey Mysterio now. My original predictions were wrong for this, and instead we're going to get Kofi Kingston versus Gunther in the very near future in this tournament. Phenomenal storytelling. I like it a lot. Now, what I also want to like a lot is the match between Kofi and Rey Mysterio. Please, can I find a way to watch this? Like, I don't know if somebody's going to go in there with the live event and video record it. Maybe they're going to. Maybe that's how I'm going to have to watch it. But WWE, be sensible about this, please. Just put it on TV. Not even TV. Just put it on YouTube. Put it on X. I mean, I'd like it to be more than 3 minutes, but hey, let's put it on speed. I mean, just do something with it. Like, I want to see Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston. It's one of those matches where you're like, it's not going to be extraordinary, but it's just going to be a bit of fun. Kofi and Rey were two of the wrestlers, who were like at the top when I started watching WWE in like 2008, 2009. And to just see them, have a match, it'd be a lot of fun. Kofi, he's now the underdog in this King of the Ring tournament, and I reckon we are going to see Kofi versus Gunther at some point, and I'm excited for it indeed. King Kofi, it's got a bit of a ring to it, doesn't it? I'm still calling Gunther though, but a really great backstage segment, building it up. So a thumbs up from me on this one. Actually, not even a thumbs up. Take that back. I'm not even a round of applause. Actually, the more I think about this, it really was quite some fun. Then in the main event, we had Gunther versus Sheamus. Everyone was hyped for this, but I don't want to say it did disappoint. It was not a bad match. It was a good match. This one will get a thumbs up from me. But, I mean, the thing about it was Ludwig Kaiser took out the knee of Sheamus early. That was the story of the match. There was, good psychology about it. But everybody wanted to see, some hard slaps, some hard chops doing this. They wanted to see, fast-paced, typical Gunther match. Instead, they saw a much slower pace, methodical Gunther and Sheamus match. I mean, it didn't live up to the expectations, but it wasn't bad. It was still a good match. Gunther advanced. It's not surprising, but I'm a bit surprised at that. I'm a bit surprised about why they went with this type of match, to be honest with you, right? Again, it wasn't bad. I don't want to hate on it. We've been spoiled with these Gunther matches, but I mean, come on. This is King of the Ring. This is the main event on Monday Night Raw. Let's see some chops. Let's see some fast-paced action. Because, I mean, Dragunov versus Ricochet, I mean, this didn't go anywhere near that level of a match. But, hey, it was still a solid Raw main event. It could. We just know these guys can do better. And that's the disappointing thing about it. But it was still a good match, right? I'm not going to hate on it too much one bit. But Gunther advances. Like I said, Gunther Kofi, that's looking like that could be the Raw final. Overall, this Raw just deserves my applause. It was a really fun episode. There was so much just great in-ring action. Genuinely, this might have been one of the best Raws I've ever seen from a purely in-ring perspective. I mean, it was just, the in-ring action was phenomenal. From a storyline perspective, it did kind of lack. Especially with any significant developments. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, the stuff between them was really fun. Becky and Liv, there was some advancements there, and same with the IC title, but nothing major. Raw's usually very good at storytelling. I don't mind there being a week where it focuses on in-ring action. In fact, I really don't mind it at all. I actually think it's refreshing. And with the King of the Ring tournament, it makes sense. That's the one time when you can get away with doing random matches. I say it about AEW a lot. Just slapping random matches on a card, it doesn't do anything. But when it's a tournament, well, it makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? And this did that. It was a very fun episode of Raw. It was refreshing. And I mean, overall, yeah, subtle round of applause from me. Solid episode of Monday Night Raw. And I'm excited for next week. And I'm excited for SmackDown to see, how this continues. Now, thank you guys for watching the first ever episode of Allison Analysis. As the weeks go on, I'm going to be introducing a few more segments and stuff on these shows. Also, maybe bringing in a few special guests for certain segments as well. It's going to be very, very fun. Starting it off today, a bit more laid back, a little bit more simple with just me here. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, all of that stuff to us here at Wrestling Republic. I will be reading all the comments if you guys do have any feedback, because I would love to hear it. That is for sure. First of hopefully many episodes, I'll be here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday reviewing Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. It should be fun, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace.